Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gatha Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gatha Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gatha Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gatha Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Wednesday. It is 11th of June. It is Jyeshta Masa or Trivikrama Masa, Shukla Paksham and Paurnimi Tithi. So there are 3 events today. So one is the Jagannath Snana Yatra today in the Jagannath Puri. And the second event is the disappearance day of Sri Mukunda Datta. And the third event is disappearance day of Sridhara Pandit. Okay, so we shall read a few lines about Snana Yatra from this pandisati.com. This is a special bath of Jagannath takes place on the Purnima of Jyeshta month. This is a Devasnan Purnima to commemorate the appearance day of Lord Jagannath. Okay, so can I request Vishal Mataji to read this paragraph? Just read this paragraph, please.
Okay, Hare Krishna. According to Skanda Purana, when Raja Indradyumna installed the wooden deities, he arranged this bathing ceremony. This day, considered to be the birthday of Lord Jagannath, held in the full moon day of the month of Jyeshta, this festival is also simultaneously held in all other important Puri. It attaches thousands of visitors and pilgrims from all over the country. Niladri Mahodaya, a religious text written in Orisian Oriya, records the rituals of the festival. Sri Harsha in his Neshadhiya Charita, XV 989, also refers to this festival of Purushottama. This bathing ceremony has a speciality, as this festival does not find mention in the early religious texts. It is believed to be a tribal ceremony. Lord Jagannath in his early form was being worshipped as a Nila Madhva by a Savara chief called Viswabasu. The story is nicely told in the drama Jagannath Priyan Natakam. Till now, it is the Daitas and Swaras tribals who have the exclusive right to conduct the festival. The tribals called Saroras, the Ors of southern Orissa, still perform a rite to bathe the deity ceremonially on the last day of the month of Jyeshta. For this, they collect water from remote jungles where it remains untouched even by the shadow of the animals.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Mataji. So today is the bathing ceremony. So it happens in all places of Puri and also in some of our temples. And on this day, so Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and also Sudarsana. So those all of 4 of them are brought from the inner temple and outside, brought onto the stage where everyone can see and then perform the bathing ceremony. Okay, so that is about Jagannath Snana Yatra. So it is happening now in the Puri, in the light. Okay, so that is about one event. And coming to the next event is another event is the disappearance of Mukunda Datta. So Mukunda Datta is the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's friend, his classmate. So we shall read from the Iskandar title, just one paragraph only. Sri Mukunda Datta was born in the Chattagrama district in the village of Chahara which is under the jurisdiction of police station named Patiya. This village is situated 10 crosses or about 20 miles from the home of Pundarika Vidyanidhi. In the Gaurav Ganesh Deepika, it is said, in the Vraja, there were two very nice singers named Madhukanta and Madhurata. They appeared in Chaitanya Leela as Mukunda and Vasudeva Datta. So, who were singers in the society of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? When Lord Chaitanya was a student, Mukunda Datta was his class friend, and they frequently engaged in logical arguments. Sometimes, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would fight with Mukunda Datta using tricks of logic. This is described in the Chaitanya Bhagavata Adilila, chapters 11 and 12. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from Gaya, Mukunda Datta gave him pleasure by reciting verses from Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna Leela. It was by his endeavor that Gadadhara Pandita Goswami became a disciple of Pundarika Vidyanidhi. So it means Mukunda Datta became Gadadhara Pandita. So he took the initiation from Pundarika Vidyanidhi, as stated in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, Madhya Leela, chapter 7. So when Mukundatta sang in the courtyard of Srivasa Prabhu, Mahaprabhu danced with his singing, and when Lord Chaitanya for 21 hours exhibited an ecstatic manifestation known as the Sataprahariya, Mukundatta inaugurated the function by singing. So this is Mukundatta was a Gadadhara Pandita and his class friend. There are so many other pastimes as well. Okay, so that is one event about Mukundatta, and there is another event is the disappearance day of Sridhara Pandita. So just few lines again. So there was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya known as Kola Vecha Sridhara, who was a very poor man. He was doing a small business selling cups made from the leaves of plantain trees, and his income was almost nothing. Still, he was spending 50% of his small income on the worship of the Ganges, and with other 50% he was somehow living. Lord Chaitanya once revealed himself to this confidential devotee, Kolaveti Sridhara, and offered him any opulence he liked. But Sridhara informed the Lord that he did not want any material opulence. He was quite happy in his present position and wanted only to gain unflinching faith and devotion unto the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. That is the position of pure devotees. If they can be engaged 24 hours each day in devotional service, they do not want anything else, not even the happiness of liberation or of becoming one with the Supreme. So this is from the Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 1, Characteristics of Pure Devotional Service by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So in the mentioned in the Gaurav Ganesh Deepika 133 mentions Kola, the covered by named Kusuma Sava, who joked with Lord Krishna and made him laugh in Brajabhumi, appeared in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes as the learned Brahmana named Kolavecha Sridhar. Okay, so this is about the Kolavecha Sridhar. Again, there are many other pastimes with Sridhar Pandita. Okay, so that is about the events today. So we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Buddha was speaking about Krishna's pastimes to Vidura. So after killing off his all these the kings who are the burden to the mother earth, so it was too much reduced. So later on, he made an arrangement that even Edu family also, that burden of earth also was reduced. So by mito yadaisham bhavita vivadho madbhamada amra vilochananam. Naisham Vadopar Yan Atonyo Mai Ujjate Antadhade Swayam Sma. So likewise, so he has arranged that they could kill among themselves. Mito Yadaisham, Mitha. So killing among themselves each other. So likewise, Uddhava yesterday was mentioning, and after that, so after Kurukshetra battle, again remembering to the continuation of the Kurukshetra battle, in order to establish Yudhishthira as the king of this world and to show the path, righteous path to the piety men, how to follow, how to rule the kingdom. So he wanted Yudhishthira to be the king of this material world. Likewise, the Lord has thought, and then he made Yudhishthira as the king. So likewise, Uddhava is saying to Vidura. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 3, and verse number 16. Evam sankincha bhagavan swarajye stapya dharmajam nandayamasa suhrudaha sadhunam vatmadarshayan. Evam sankincha bhagavan. And Lord was thinking within himself, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what he is thinking, Swarajya Stapya Dharmajam. Swarajya Stapya Dharmajam. So he wanted to install Dharmajam, Maharaj Yudhishthira, to be installed in his own kingdom. Swarajya Stapya Dharmajam. Nandayamasa Suhrudaha. Nandayamasa. So he was gladdened. Suhrudaha, the friends, by looking at his Yudhishthira and Pandavas. Nandayamasa Suhrudaha. Sadhunam Vatma Darshayan. Sadhunam of the saints. Vatma is the path. Darshayan by indicating. So likewise, it is showing the path for the path of piety to the entire world. So likewise, Krishna, he has installed Yudhishthira as the king. Evam sanjincha Bhagavan Swarajya Stapya Dharmajam Nandayamasa Suhridaha Sadhunam Vatma Darshayan. The translation. Lord Shri Krishna, thus thinking to himself, established Maharaj Yudhishthira in the position of supreme controller of the world in order to show the ideal administration on the path of piety. Okay, so this is, there is no purport for this one. So Krishna, he desired that Yudhishthira to be the king. So that is Niveshitva Nijarabheshwaro Yudhishtiram Pritamana Bhavovaha. That is Nijarabheshwaro Yudhishtiram Pritamana Bhavova. And Lord was very happy whenever Yudhishthira was being installed as the king. So likewise, in the scriptures it mentions. Okay, so that is about the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, and then Apipala Dharmarajaha Pitrvad Ranjayan Prajaha, and he has looked after his subjects like a father. Apipala Dharmarajaha Pitrvad Ranjayan Prajaha Nispruha Sarvakamebhyo Krishna Padanu Sevaya, and he does not have any personal desires to enjoy himself, and he is always thinking of how to render service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all these Krishna's instructions here, Dharmam Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam, and Dharma is spoken by the Lord only, Supreme Personality of Godhead, not by anyone, not by anyone else. Everyone repeat the message of the Lord. But we would see in many places that Suta Goswami said, Saunaka the sages said, and then Maitreya Rishi said, Vidura said, Uddhava said, and all these things. So many sages are saying all these things, these shastras, all are they're repeating the message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is the Lord is saying directly? So there are in the Bhagavatam, Chatashloki Bhagavata is there, And also there are what Lord has spoken in the 10th canto, that is again Buddhava Gita. There Lord spoke Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke to Arjuna. These are all what Lord spoke actually. That is Dharmam Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. And that Lord has said, but who follows that one? Devotees follow. Here Yudhishthira is showing an ideal characteristics. So this is the ideal administration in the path of piety. So all devotees, they follow. And then without any sense gratification. Nispruhaha sarvakamebhyo Krishna padanu sevya, by rendering service unto lotus feet of Krishna, by becoming the devotee of the Lord. So Yudhishthira is always following the righteous path. He is son of Dharma, Yama Dharmaraja. Okay, so that is that's why Krishna was very happy as soon as Yudhishthira became king. Nandayamasa suhrudaha. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. एवं संचिन्त्य भगवान् स्वराज्ये स्थाप्य धर्मजं नन्दयामास सुहृदः साधूनां वत्मदर्शयन्. So we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Today, letter to Gargamuni, August 23rd, 1970, Tokyo. Okay, can I request any unallocated devotee to read this letter, please? Yeah, I shall read it.
I will read, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, ma'am.
My dear Garga Maharaja, please accept my blessings. When I was in LA, sometimes 1 month back, I received 2 letters from you and Brahmananda Maharaj. Since then, I have not heard from you, although I was expecting your letters every moment. I was personally asking everyone about your touring, and I have already inquired from Rupanuga Prabhu about your address. Fortunately, Shriman Madhudvisa Maharaj has given me to read your letter dated 16th August 1970 addressed to him. I have gone through the letter carefully and it gives me great pleasure. I am so glad to learn that both of you are now chanting 16 rounds or more regularly and murmuring the Gayatri Mantra regularly. Please continue this habit without fail. I am glad to note that you are now realizing that without executing the regular routine work of spiritual life, nobody can grow spiritual strength. Without spiritual strength, nobody can preach the Krishna consciousness. Prabhu, can you just bring it up? Nobody can grow spiritual strength, and without spiritual strength, nobody can preach the Krishna consciousness movement. Both of you are my great hopes. You have done great service to the cause of the society, and I always consider you as 2 strong pillars of the society. Sriman Brahmananda Swami Maharaj joined me in my apartment in New York sometime in 1966, and since then he's working so hard for the upliftment of our activities. And later on, you also joined to help the movement so strenuously. So your service to Krishna in this connection will never go in vain, even though accidentally sometimes contrary has been done. So far as I'm concerned, I am the spiritual father and guide of both of you, and I have prayed all along to Krishna for bringing you back to your good conscience. I hope Krishna is already helping you, sitting in your heart, and that you are executing the regulative principles. We have a great task before us to preach this Krishna consciousness all over the world. I have given you all the sannyasa order with the great hope that in the future you will all work for me. I came to your country to execute the mission of my spiritual master at a very old age, and by the grace of my spiritual master, within 4 or 5 years, with your cooperation, we have expanded
beyond expectation. Now, if all you sannyasis work with the same real and enthusiasm, and if each of you establish another set of 30-40 branches with necessary influx of devotees, then I am sure Krishna consciousness movement will prove a solid fact throughout the worldwide. And for this purpose, you have to gather sufficiently spiritual strength. There is a statement in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that without being empowered by Krishna, nobody can preach the glories of his holy name. And the only means for acquiring this spiritual strength is to abide by the orders of the spiritual master. That is the verdict of all scriptures. I hope in the new Vrindavan meeting, you will all formulate a solid program for advancing this Krishna conscious movement all over the world. Please offer my blessings to Sriman Brahmananda Swami Maharaj, as well as all the devotees present at New Vrindavan. I hope this meets you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Can you take your points, Mataji, from this letter?
I think this is like a little bit about what we were talking about yesterday, that that Srila Prabhupada is the spiritual father of the two sannyasis that he's speaking to, and that he's obviously very happy, and this need that we must have spiritual strength, and we can only do that by following the orders of our spiritual master. And how, you know, Srila Prabhupada is so happy when these principles, etc., are always met, and that, you know, the guru is so special that they're always praying that, you know, Krishna keeps us steady on the path of Krishna consciousness, because we need that in this world of like constant distractions. We need that spiritual power to be able to preach the Krishna consciousness, and also to stay and rise above all the problems that that keep coming. And we have to, you know, that spiritual strength is what helps us, and that's given to us by our guru and our sadhana. And then obviously Srila Prabhupada wants that, you know, everybody, the more spiritual power we have, the more we're able to, you know, attract other people to start following the Krishna consciousness movement through our sadachar and that, you know, if we do service for Krishna, it doesn't ever go in vain. So even though, like, I think maybe one of these gurus did fall down, but yeah, like Srila Prabhupada, you know, he's this movement is being run by Srila Prabhupada, and we should always remember that as well, because he's the one that engages or disengages, or, you know, he helps us through this, and it's very important that we because he's praying, like he said, you know, I hope Krishna is already helping you, sitting in your heart, and thus you are executing the regulative principles. Without Krishna, we can't actually do all these things. Like, I was actually just observing like somebody yesterday, and they're not initiated, they're just they're not even, you know, but it's only because we have Srila Prabhupada's books, and we learn so much. Our whole culture, our whole everything, the ISKCON, not just ISKCON, but the devotee, ISKCON, the devotee community offers us a chance, because there's so many good devotees, and because so many of them are practicing, and we're all trying together. It gives us that little bit of power to actually try to be good people, at least in that Krishna conscious movement, and to just, so we're able to check ourselves. Otherwise we will just go in the wrong direction, because we need to have that character also. And then the spiritual strength, it comes from the name, and nobody can preach Krishna. Exactly this. It's only when you get that empowerment that you can preach Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, you will just stay silent because you're not empowered at that moment. It's, yeah, you get empowerment to speak. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Nicely explained. So without being empowered by Krishna, nobody can preach the glories of his holy name. And the only means for acquiring the spiritual strength is to abide by the orders of the spiritual master. That is the verdict of all scripture. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely explained about the spiritual master, what is his position. And also the Prabhupada is also just contemplating or suggesting them that to have the solid programs in the Krishna in the Vrindavan as well. Meeting you in the meeting. Advancing this Krishna conscious movement all over the world to plan in the Vrindavan. Okay, so that is few points as well. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And one more point here, Gayatri mantra needs to be just murmured in the mind. Just not, it should not be spoken loudly like Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra can be done slowly or loudly. Because of that, it is called Mahamantra. Slowly it is done japa, loudly it is called Kirtan. So you can do either, that is japa. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter and from the announcements point of view. So today evening we have got Kirtan at 8 p.m. So that is our upcoming event. And they do, and also we have got that Jagannath Rath Yatra in the West Bengal. So the fundraiser is still on. So dear devotees, if anyone has not yet done any contributions and still you wanted to do it, so still it is open. Okay, so
Oh, Prabhu, can I just mention one thing?
yes,
That preaching, just because it's so like so many people get this little bit, I don't know, like it's written so clearly in Bhagavatam that preaching should never ever be done for Lakshmi. Like if someone is reciting Bhagavatam and they're asking for Lakshmi, then the hearer or the speaker has no benefit because it's done for material purpose. Like we should be really careful of this because so many of these things happen.
yes. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice point. Yes, so devotional service carried out without any personal betting. This is ahaitikya aprihata ye atma suprasidati. Otherwise, he cannot be na shantim, na sukham, na param gati. Okay, so thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so this the fundraise, the Lakshmi contribution is for the Jagannath Rath Yatra happening in the West Bengal. That Prabhuji, so he needs assistance. So likewise, he has asked for some Lakshmi contributions. We are raising for that cause. Okay, so that is still on. So it will go until 26th of June, and then we will conclude on that day. Okay, and dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything, kindly share.
Oh, Prabhu, I didn't mean it like for this like Sangha. I just meant it like generally.
Yes,
Like,
yes, yes.
yeah, like just like there's all these people on TV and people that try to be famous and all these ones. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, got it. But just to that point. Okay, thank you so much. Any other updates or comments, dear devotees, you wanted to share? Or otherwise, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
Jai.
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.